Hello, a group project on installation of IIS, Internet Information Services. And what we're going to do today is set up a website on a web server. Basically, well, when you go to GoDaddy and stuff like that, you see that there are windows and so forth. Basically, this is the setup along with public IP addresses and so forth. Today, we're going to set up a website whereby local IP addresses or machines on the network could be able to access. So in order to do that, we need to install a new role. So what we're going to pull up is Server Manager. So just a reminder, this is testing.com domain. That is the name of our local domain. Now what we need to do, web server is a specific role. So let's go to roles. I already have it installed, but let me show you how to get that. Go to roles, add new roles, next, and this web server, next, and it's gonna run through its settings. Basically, there you're gonna run through a couple steps whereby you must enable security and the different platforms of web services. So let's just jump to it. Server. Let's go to web server now. It's just gonna give you some events and the services that are currently. As you can see, FTP is stopped at the moment. And these are the different role services for web server. As you can see, the ones we have installed. Security, basic authentication, Windows authentication, and ISS 6 compatibility also. Now, what do we need to go to? We need to go to the ISS manager. So let's go to all administrative tools. I'm going to go to Internet Information Services ISS manager. Click. By there's a site, default website that is there. So what you want to do is right click, add website, site name. Let's go. I have a web page that I've designed for another class. So we're going to use my classmate and I are going to use this. So let's just call it Arafan physical. Let's go to C drive. When you install ISS, by default, a folder inet pub install, put all the server files. Just click in there, make new folder. Let's call it Lara. So, okay. Binding. This is where you're gonna bind your DNS entry or domain or IP to the specific. So IP address, which is the server. So since we're testing, let's call it lara.testing.com. Start immediately. Okay. As you can see, there's an expired. So it's just gonna take a few seconds to start. Let's go to computer. Just copy across some files. So we're gonna copy these, well, the HTML files or the website itself. To So we have some files and folders inclusive of images installed. Click the default document. So you need to make sure that your main page or your website has one of these: index HTML, index HTML. Let's just verify. So we have an index.html document. Nice. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to click browse. So when users on this domain go to http slash 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 lara.testing.com, this is what you're supposed to see. But in order to get this, DNS entries must be created so that the local server knows where to point this to. Now let's get to that. So I'm going to show you how to recreate the DNS entries for this record. Go to testing, right click, I'm going to go to a new host A or AAA. So there's going to be LR, create associated pointer PTR record, because 192.168.1.2. So the server knows that this is a machine, that is the server. Click add host, record host lara.testing.com. So anyone trying to get to lara.com, lara.testing.com, the local server itself, which is this machine, is gonna authenticate it and forward it to 192.168.1.2 web server file and forward it to the index.html. Now let's just run a simple check. The command, look up lara.testing.com. So you can see that one cool thing you can do too is, let's say you don't want the users, let's say for no reason the accounts department doesn't need to go to IPv4 addresses. Obviously they're gonna have IP address range. So you wanna deny entry, so you're gonna say 2.168.1.115. Class C 255.255.0. Okay, so any users in that range 1.115 to 120 will not be able to. Hello and welcome back. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a bonus part FTP site. So you're gonna click to launch, and this is done by IIS.0 manager. Click to launch. Let's get that there. FTP default FTP site stopped. Yes, that is because I just re-enable that service. Alright, here we go. FTP is back up. FTP is running. FTP site. Next. Test FTP. Test FTP so that members can log on to the folders across the network. Next. 192.168.1.2, which is the server port 1. This is the designated TCP port for FTP access. Do not isolate users. Okay, let's use that for now. The path. Let's just use back. Okay. Next. And allowing the following permissions, read write. Next. So now the FTP is set up. So instead of using HTTP, you're going to use FTP :/ and the IP address. And it's basically you give you an interface where you can transfer files, so users could even update the website if they want. This is great for like things like Wikipedia and so forth. But let me just show you a neat trick. Right now it's set up to accept anonymous, so anyone who uses the address on the network will be able to access. Right click, properties, security settings, allow. Be sure you want to continue. Yep. Apply. Okay. So let's say you go to FTP // 192.168, this IP address, enter. You are going to need to enter an account. So let's just put in an address there. Account 1. And let's see if I remember this password. Yep. So you log on with a domain username. So only persons on that domain access it. Ask me later. By default, it shows MS-DOS style. You go to page. Open FTP. Right. Just give it a few seconds. It's basically loading the files that are in this folder. Or meanwhile, what you can also do is you can also set connection limited to only 2 persons will be able to connect out. If they are idle for, let's say, 5 minutes, 300, it's going to disconnect. Apply. Okay. Let me show you an additional way also is use of a FTP client. Let's download it, FileZilla. This is what you normally see when you download and stuff like that. So I'm going to create a new one. Test, we have 192.168.1.2 set up. We have normal password, count 1, connect. And basically we have the folder that we shared. Let's say we want to share something. This is just a basic introduction or bonus to our IIS. I hope it was fruitful and enjoyable, and thank you for viewing.